Probably don't want to do the M&M thing because we might get sued.
Which, what were you going to do?
Guess who's back?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Cheap Drinks in Real Estate.
We're back.
My name's Jason Kaufman with the Kaufman Home Group at Heron Real Estate.
And I'm Adam Pearsall, mortgage broker and owner of AP Finity Mortgage.
Adam, it's been 2 years.
It has.
It's been 2 years since our last video. And we went through quite a spell there where we were busy and then it just kept kind of going by the wayside. But we are officially back.
We are. No one was buying houses or anything for the last 2 years anyways.
I mean,
so
the market was confusing then. It's confusing now. And if you do live in Northeast Florida, the real estate market probably feels really confusing. And that's because it is. Homes are sitting longer. Prices aren't crashing. Buyers aren't rushing in. And everybody's just waiting for something to happen.
yeah.
So today we're going to break down what's actually happening in Northeast Florida with the housing market, what it means for you, and whether it's a good time to buy or sell. But first, it is cheap drinks in real estate. So we have to start off with our cheap drink.
We need a cheap drink. I've missed the cheap drinks.
I know. I've been having to spend so much money on drinks, so we might as well bring back the cheap drink.
Yeah, we should. And it's good to be back with you guys, by the way. We're excited. We're going to bring this back.
Yes.
So this is back full time. Expecting to release one of these every week to 2 weeks.
Every 1 to 2 weeks.
Yep. And bring you guys some more market updates, navigate this crazy market and talk about what's going on, what's up with interest rates, what's going on with if it's a good time to buy, if it's a good time to sell, like Jason said.
Yep.
And hit all those points and dive deep. We're looking forward to having some special guests this season and doing that and just bringing more in-depth information to you guys. So stick around and let's hit some cheap drinks.
So you're familiar with Mango Cart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mango Cart was, when it first came out down here, I loved it. I was drinking it quite a bit. It used to be like $9 for a 6-pack.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Now all of a sudden it went up to like $14 for a 6-pack. So me and my wife were in Aldi. I don't know if you shop at Aldi very often.
Not very often.
So we never used to, but since they've been opening more because they took over the Winn-Dixies.
Yep.
So they've opened more Aldis, so we've been going there. And I saw this drink in there, and I'm like, hey, let's try that out.
Yeah.
It is the Aldi version of Mango Cart. We got Mango Ride.
Mango Ride.
Mango Ride from Aldi. It comes in a 6-pack. It's $7.79 for a 6-pack.
Half price.
That's normal price for them. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm looking forward to trying this out because if it's anything like Mango Ride, then I'll happily take it.
Yeah. All right. We'll check it out. Let's see what we think about it. You guys, let us know if you shop at Aldi. How do you like Aldi?
I actually like it. They have a lot of stuff that is way better priced than going to like Publix and stuff like that because Publix, their prices tend to get a little crazy for some of the stuff. So we do like Aldi. A lot of their stuff has no like dyes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to get rid of all the dyes, but
yeah. Since they started opening them in Northeast Florida, when they started opening, I was seeing the lines on social media and stuff where people are literally camped outside Aldi's excited for them to open.
I haven't seen any of that.
Crazy lines. So.
It's actually not too bad going into any of the ones around here. So, good prices, but.
All right, let's try this. Let's see what we think. Mango Ride Wheat Ale.
Okay. If you're new to the channel, you'll know that we wait to give our rating until the end. We can give a little piece of information, but I'll say that it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
No. But you do have to stick around to find out at the end the rating that we're going to give it. We're going to give it a sliding scale, 1 to 10.
Yeah, we're changing stuff up a little bit.
Yeah.
We can't just say, it's good or no, it's terrible. We have to actually give it a rating. So.
We'll give a cheat on this one. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
I'll give you the cheat on that.
It's not terrible. All right. So today, let's get right into a few things. So the market has been interesting.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen prices come down a lot.
The world has been interesting.
The world has been interesting.
Jason, just so we're clear.
It's cost me way more to fill up my gas tank now.
A lot more to fill up your gas tank. A lot more for insurance, which seems impossible even from 2 years ago.
A lot more for interest.
Yep.
Than what it was back in 2022.
Yes.
Interest rates are climbing. They've kind of plateaued now, right? They haven't been climbing. They've been up and down, up and down.
They have, yeah. I mean, they're pretty flat at the moment right now. They were. We had a nice dip in February. In fact, it was kind of a tease. You know, we
Yeah.
all thought, all right, here it comes. This is kind of what the administration promised, right? Where rates got down into like the mid fives, even below the mid fives.
Yeah.
And we were all really excited about that. That was short lived. We know everything that's going on in the political environment, where everything shot right back up, and so we're kind of dealing with that. And now rates are sitting, you know, in those sixes again. You know, anywhere from the mid sixes, low sixes, you know, right in that area for a regular conventional loan. So it was nice to. I mean, we're almost a full point higher than we were in February.
Yeah.
And which is crazy.
The 5% range, when that hit, I mean, my business took off.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. Everybody was calling me at that point.
Yeah.
And now buyers seem to have slowed down a little bit again, because they're seeing that their payments are way higher than what they would anticipate,
Yeah.
because housing prices haven't come down a whole lot yet.
Right. Well, even 2 years ago when we were talking to you guys, we talked about that. I mean, that was a talking point on every episode almost, right? It was like, well, there's still people that are sitting around going, I'm waiting for prices to come down. It's going to happen. The prices are going to come down. And that's when the market was stagnant as all get out, right? We were still kind of a little post-COVID 2 years ago. And, you know, even a few years removed from it, and everybody's like, it's going to happen. They're going to come back. Prices haven't dropped. The good news is they haven't gone through the roof.
No.
But that's because rates have also stayed, I feel like. And you know, you can counter me on this. This is my take, but it's that, you know, rates have stayed relatively high, and because of that, the affordability is not as great. So what naturally happens, prices can't really go up because there's not as much demand, and the affordability is not as good.
And it's funny because I pulled up some stats the other day, and I'll actually pop them right here. But you'll actually see over the course of the past few years where interest rates go up, closed sales have come down because of that difference in rate. Because if housing prices don't come down to match the interest rates, then it gets a lot of buyers out of the market because they just don't have the affordability.
Yeah.
And then insurance rates have gone up. But it's not like it's a crash coming or anything.
Right.
I mean, we haven't seen anything, and I know there's people out there, people that I have watched over the past 8 years that have been calling for the crash in the market for the past 8 years, just hoping that one of these times it's going to hit and then they're going to be able to say that they're right. But I'm not seeing that happen.
Well, I mean, foreclosures aren't like through the roof or anything. People are just staying put. People would love to move. I talk to people all the time. They're like, I'd love to move, but you're still dealing with the the dilemma of, hey, I've got a 2.75% interest rate that I got during COVID.
Yep.
And if I have to trade that for 6.5% or 6% in there, the payment shock to sell your house and buy the new house, which costs more than it did in COVID times.
Yep.
It's, the affordability shock is certainly there.
And these property taxes. The property taxes are huge as well, because people that bought around COVID time and homesteaded their house, they were buying and at like a lower price point just before COVID actually hit. And those people stayed in their houses, maybe refinanced them. So they know that if they sell their house and buy another house, they're going to be paying a higher price. Real estate taxes are going to go way up.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it's now going to be based off of the new value compared to what they bought just before COVID.
The affordability argument never goes away. It's just here. Like, time is going to kind of take that away. This is the reality that we're in. Home prices are not going to plummet. Homes aren't suddenly going to be $100,000 cheaper a year from now or 18 months from now or 2 years from now. That's simply not going to happen.
We're not in 2006, 2008 time when everything hit the fan. We're not sitting in a situation like that because we don't have any of the same data that we had at that time.
None of the numbers for that line up.
No.
When you go deep into that, there's nothing that says that's coming. Interest rates are not going to 3%. Interest rates are not going to 4%. That's just the reality.
Yeah. And so right now what we're seeing, as far as on my side of it, as far as buyers and sellers are holding pretty steady to their prices. They're not wanting to drop prices, which is causing homes to sit on the market 30, 45, 60 plus days waiting for someone to buy the house. Buyers have options because we have higher inventory. So they're kind of sitting and they're like, they'll go see a house and they're like, I'll think about that.
Yep.
So during COVID, they would go in, they're like, oh, we have to jump on this now. There's 30 more offers on the table.
There's free money.
Yeah, there's free money because interest rates are 2.75%.
Yep.
So buyers are waiting a little bit longer for the right house to come up or for the right pricing to come up. So for sellers right now, you're having to have tough conversations with them, because if you want your house to sell and you want it to sell quick, like if you're trying to move on quick, you have to be as competitive with the pricing as possible.
Yeah.
You can't expect COVID numbers because you're not going to get that. It has come down a little bit. For instance, I've got a seller that I just priced out their house. They bought it 3 years ago for $818,000 in Nocatee. And they're sitting at, I just comped it out, we're sitting at about 770. So that's dropped $48,000 on an $820,000 house.
Yeah.
So it's not drastic, but it has come down a little bit. So that has helped out some buyers a little bit.
Still hurts.
For sure.
That's not what a seller wants to hear.
Exactly.
You know. So are you seeing other sellers tell us, like, are you seeing more sellers that are also willing to be patient? They're like, well, I want to list it. This is where I'm at. And if it sits on the market, I don't really mind.
Yes, I have seen that. And the problem with that is that if you let a house sit on the market for 30, 45, 60 plus days, there's a reason for it. It's either price or condition. And buyers go in there thinking there's something wrong with the house.
Right.
Or there's a reason why it's sitting on the market. So, I mean, I'll have buyers right now that won't go see a house because it's been sitting on the market for 180 days.
And just because of that, they simply won't go see it. Yeah.
Because they think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Or you'll see where houses go under contract, and I've seen this a lot, where houses go under contract and then 5-10 days later, it comes back on the market. That's either the buyer found a different house for whatever reason and backed out, or there was an inspection
issue. Right.
And so that's what's going through these buyers' minds. They see a house go off the market, and then 5-10 days later, they're like, oh, hold on. Why is it back on the market?
Right.
And the problem is that once those houses come back on the market, they tend to sit for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and to educate, our buyers who might be watching, or people that are thinking about getting into that market, is if a house comes back onto the market, falls through, it was under contract, let's say it falls through and comes back on the market, is that information available of why?
Typically I have to reach out to the agent because they don't actually state why it came back in the market. You will have the occasional agent that does a good job and says back in the market due to buyer financing or due to inspections, but they corrected all the inspection problems.
But do they have to disclose it? In other words, if you call them and ask them, do they have to, if there was a problem on the inspection, let's say, because that's probably what most people are worried about. The price is the price, right? So if the next buyer, is your buyer that's coming to the table, they're going, hey, this property just came back on the market after being under contract for 15, 20 days. And I'm scared of it. And they want you to do some research, or you want to do the research. Does the selling agent have to disclose
exactly what was going on?
There was something on the inspection.
I mean, if there is something major that was wrong with it, like let's say there was mold or something like that, like if it's a known problem, then yes, they have to disclose that. It has to be on the seller's disclosure, or else that can be all kinds of legal ramifications. Now, the problem is that you'll see some where the buyers don't want to buy the house because they find out that the roof is 12 years old and with insurance and everything.
Yeah.
So the roof could be completely fine, but they just don't want to replace the roof in 3 years.
Right.
So there's certain things that that won't necessarily be disclosed, because you'll see cosmetic stuff like that buyers just decide, you know what, no, I don't want to buy this house because I don't want to have to deal with that cosmetic stuff.
Sure. Yep.
That doesn't necessarily have to be disclosed. It's a cosmetic issue. But if there's anything major problem, then it's got to be disclosed.
Yeah. Is it a good time to buy then? Because now if we're hearing, there's more inventory. But forever we were hearing there's no inventory. There's no inventory. So I was like, it's a terrible time to buy because there's no inventory. Well, now there's a lot of inventory. But what do we open the show with? What were we saying? Interest rates are still high.
Yep.
Right? Prices are still high.
Insurance is high.
Property taxes are high.
But is it a good time to buy right now?
Yeah.
Absolutely it is. Do you know why?
Tell me.
I will tell you. Because of the fact that you can actually get some steals right now. I mean, with these houses, if you're going into a house that's been on the market for 60 days, it could be absolutely nothing wrong. A lot of buyers aren't looking at that. And let's say you go look at it, you fall in love with it. A lot of the time, those sellers know that they're in a bad position, and the buyer then can come in and you might be able to get a steal of a deal out of it. I mean, I've had some that recently where we were able to negotiate on the buyer side down, and the appraisal came in like $50,000 above what we bought it at.
Yep.
And that's just because of where we're sitting right now, with houses sitting on the market a little bit longer, sellers getting a little bit more stressed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a good time to buy. Now, stats will tell you that it's leaning buyer's market. It's like you've either had a seller's market or a buyer's market, or kind of an even market. And a lot of the stats, a lot of the people out there are saying, you know what, it's leaning buyers, but it's not a complete buyer's market. Yeah. I'm actually going to say it's a buyer's market wholeheartedly. It's a buyer's market right now. So because sellers are stuck on prices that were there 2-3 years ago,
right?
That's
well, it's going to get real bullish if you know, when this whole conflict that we're in right now in the Middle East, everything that's keeping inflation up a little bit, and a little bit of the turmoil, which is what has rates where they are. It's why they're not still sitting at 5.5%. Has to do with obviously the inflation and the conflict that we're in, you know, with energy prices and all of that, and that's driving the bond market, which is what drives interest rates. Look, that's going to switch really fast if this comes to an end. And everything does settle, and even rates drop back down. Because like we said, we were busy, man. That first quarter of the year, even from December through up until the conflict started, the first couple of weeks of that,
it was like 2021 again.
It was great. You know, we say that from a business perspective, but it was, you know, people were jumping, and the market was kind of hopping there. It was short lived, but it was a view into
what could happen, if interest rates come down 1%.
Yeah. And so that market switch will happen so fast where all of a sudden, well, is it a buyer's market anymore? Because that inventory will go pretty quick. Suddenly, what's it going to be? Multiple offers on properties. All of that stuff will switch. And so let me give a little perspective into that, what I think will help with affordability. Just real fast to touch on this, you know, and something that the people that are still in the market and buyers that we're working with right now are doing, and that's taking advantage of adjustable rate mortgages. Yeah, and that term still scares a lot of people, you know. And adjustable rate mortgages can be a fantastic product. It's nothing to be scared of. You know, your initial rate is going to be about a percentage point or so lower than where the standard rate is. So let's just say hypothetically the rate today is at 6.5, and you're willing to do a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage, and you can get 5.5%. You know, and you're fixed for 5 years in that first term. You have 5 years where you're locked into that 5.5% rate before there's going to be any type of adjustment that happens. And that difference is massive in your affordability, number one. And it gives you the view to say, all right, I've got 5 years, if this is going to be a long-term home for you, to see what's going to happen. Yeah. Are rates going to keep dropping?
It could be a year from now that rates drop, and then you get out of that and get into something else. Yeah. Maybe it's 3 years from now.
Could be 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever it is. But you get the opportunity to find that sweet spot and go, all right, I want to lock this thing in. And that's when you have the opportunity to refinance into that fixed rate and take advantage of it. So you kind of get the benefit with those arms of having the lower rate now and being able to catch lightning in the bottle. You know, when you think the time is right, and locking into that 30-year fixed rate.
New home sales, brand new homes. You see a lot of the people a lot of the new builders out there offering low interest rates, like 2% off of what the current rate is and stuff like that. Offering these crazy buy downs. Is that completely, how do I want to say this? Is it
as good as it sounds?
Is it as good as it sounds?
It can be. There's no doubt about it. It can be. Some of it, you know, I mean, nothing's free.
Right.
So, you know, there's catches in that. Anytime if you're going with a builder, there's always additional fees. So, you know, fees have to be paid, right? Closing costs have to be paid. You know, when somebody says there's no such thing as a no closing cost loan.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. The title company has to get paid. The county and state's going to get paid. Yeah. All of that's going to happen. So it's a matter of who's paying it. Yeah. Generally, if you heard, even back in COVID times, if you were refinancing and it was, hey, there's a no closing cost loan, but you're taking a slightly higher interest rate, and the lender is paying your closing costs for you. And you're paying for the closing costs 5 times over with a higher interest rate.
Yep.
Well, builders, if you're building with builders and they're offering incentives, it's built into the price of the house, number one.
Yep.
And it's being paid.
Yeah. And I mean, on my side, like if you go into a new build house, your closing costs are always going to be higher than buying a resale property, because essentially most of the time you're paying both sides of that closing cost, because the builder is going to have you pay their closing costs and your closing costs. So yeah, they're giving you an incentive. Yes, you're going to get a discount in the interest rate, but you're paying more closing costs at the end of the day.
Right.
So how much is that really saving you in the long run that on something that you might refinance in the future anyway?
Right. And so what we're saying with that, right, is that traditionally there's sellers closing costs and buyers closing costs.
Yep.
Right. And in this case, the builder is the seller, and builders do not pay their own closing costs. The buyer pays the closing costs for both sides of that transaction. Right.
And just to clarify one more time, and you will 100% agree with me on this because he just stated on it, there is no such thing as no closing costs.
Right.
No matter what lender tells you there's no closing costs, that just means they're not charging you extra fees on their side. There's always closing costs.
Right. It's just a matter of who's paying them.
Exactly.
And how does it look and how's it structured?
Yep.
That's it.
Because a lot of buyers go in and they think, and we'll do a whole video on this some other time on that type of stuff, but a lot of people think no closing costs, boom, that means I just pay the payment. I don't have to come to the table with anything extra. No, that's not correct.
No. Now that doesn't mean that, again, and that's what we started this with, that doesn't mean that these can't be good deals, right? Each buyer has their own needs, right? If you don't have a lot of cash and you need the incentives, and you're willing to take a little bit of a higher interest rate to have a no closing cost loan, because you can afford the monthly payment. Look, those can be good loans. There's a reason why they exist, and there's a reason why people utilize them. But that's the job of a good lender and a good real estate agent working as a team, is for us to figure that out for you, right? And say, okay, look, that's why we do a deep dive when we pre-approve you into, what your needs are, what your wants are, and a look into your finances, so that we can actually steer you towards what is the best financial decision for you to make on what your goals are with the house, longevity, how long you're going to be there, and all of those things.
What do you expect over the next 6-12 months?
Yeah, the rest of the year, I mean, the forecast really is for rates to just kind of sit where they are.
Yeah.
They're going to sit in this bubble. They'll go down a little bit. They'll probably come up a little bit and just, have that regular fluctuation. And what happened next? The goal, the joke that we always say, I should say, not the goal, the joke that we always say is, especially when I'm talking to clients or anything, goes, look, I always say, look, if I had the crystal ball to be able to tell you what's next and what rates are going to do, I'd be a billionaire and I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Yep.
And that's the reality. But there's nothing out there. We know a crash isn't coming. There's nothing to drive that.
Don't trust the gloom and doomers that are out there saying, oh,
that's clicks, man.
The sky is falling and stuff like that. Nothing's falling. You might see, what I'm seeing is you'll probably see inventory maybe climb a little bit over the next few months, just because there's so much uncertainty in general, like with the conflicts going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's just uncertainty and people are a little bit hesitant to jump out and buy anything. So you'll probably see inventory climb a little bit.
Well, we're in the summer season, right? We're coming into it.
Yeah.
Right. So we're at the beginning of May.
You're going to see more listings come up. You're going to see more buyers. So
you will.
It's just a matter of, will you see more listings than more buyers? And I think you probably will. You'll probably see more listings that'll start climbing the inventory. But I think prices stay mostly flat, maybe come down a little bit more, but it's not any type of crash coming, anything like that. But the big thing is not to be scared to buy right now, because yes, interest rates might be a little bit high, but it's getting you into a house that if 6-12 months from now interest rates come down, you're probably going to start seeing prices climb back up.
Oh, you will. Yeah, without a doubt. And there are, like we talked about with the ARM product, there's still the rate down products, guys, where you can buy, you can use seller concessions, which are a thing right now. You can certainly get into a house with seller concessions. So you're getting, 3% in seller concessions or whatever's negotiated for you. We can use those for rate buy downs to help get that rate even better and that affordability better. So there's definitely options. I wouldn't be scared. I mean, I'm always looking for investment opportunities in homes and I'm not scared of that. And, the market's not dead. That's
No,
just,
it's
what you
not
want to
dead.
realize. It's not dead. It's still moving. We're relatively busy.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's just, it's kind of boring right now is almost the best word,
Yeah.
because there's just not a lot happening. The rates are sitting, the prices are kind of sitting, and it's just a stagnant market for the most part.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And then if you have any questions with regards to anything that we talked about, or if we didn't touch on something that you are interested in, feel free to reach out to either one of us. Our contact information is always in there. Feel free to drop a comment. If you have any questions, we will regularly respond to those.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, we had the whole time to drink this mango ride, which, again, Aldi version of mango cart. I'm nearly done.
I'm close. So I'll start off. I think it's actually really good.
I actually really like it as well.
I do. I think it's really good. I'm going to go rating beer. Okay. So
Drum roll. What's Adam's rating?
I'm going to say it's like a 6.9.
Oh, yours was kind of low. I actually have mine at 8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
That's high.
I actually really like that because it's not, so the mango ride, I enjoy the mango ride, but it tends to be a little bit too sweet. This one is actually very subtle, and I actually get a little bit more than just the mango. Mango cart is very mango forward.
Yeah,
very
I'm not a
sweet.
big flavor beer
Nah.
guy anyways, so maybe that's why I'm lower. I do think it's good.
Yeah.
I think I'm being tough on my scale,
You might be.
you know?
You might be.
So-
Maybe a little too tough.
Maybe. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a buy. You should try it.
I would absolutely, yeah. If you go into Aldi, see if they have these.
$7?
$7.79
Yeah.
for a 6-pack.
I
You
mean,
can't go wrong for a
nope.
6-pack. I mean, unless you're looking at like Miller Lite or Bud Light or anything like that.
Don't bash the American beers.
I'm not bashing the American beers, but those tend to be a little bit cheaper if you're into just that.
Yeah.
But
This is good, man.
yeah.
I think it's a buy.
I would definitely buy that again.
Yeah.
But I mean, if at any time, again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to either one of us.
Yep.
Don't be scared of the market.
Nope.
It's a good time.
Don't be scared of rates. There's options. And yeah,
That's about it.
that's about it.
And we will be back. We are not stopping this anytime soon.
No, we're excited. We want to ride through this in the summer. Like,
Yeah.
this market's going to be kind of fun. Like we said, it's been kind of boring. It's been stagnant. We're sitting in it right now, but the summer season is going to be fun.
I have some good ideas for videos that we can talk about coming up that should be really interesting. I mean, we'll get into those later.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be some really good opportunities this summer if you're looking to buy or if you're looking to sell.
Yep.
I think there's going to be some really good opportunities. We'd love to talk to you guys about it.
Yep.
You know, we enjoy it. It's fun. We do it for a living. We know you don't. Don't be scared about that. There's no dumb questions. If you guys ever have questions, reach out, ask those questions, because the more you know, the better you're off.
And I love what I do. Do you love what you do?
I love what I do. Absolutely.
So take it from two people that enjoy what we're going through right now, what we went through in the past, and what's going to be coming in the future. We'll help you through every step of it. But for now, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. Jason Coffin with the Coffin Home Group at Heron Real Estate.
Adam Pearsall with AP Finity Mortgage.
We'll see you soon.
Mango Ride.
Cheers. It's empty.
That's all right.